So here we're going to look at nested for loops. It's not something I talked about in great detail or at all in the video section, because really a nested for loop simply suggests that here on line 25, if I have a for loop, that here on line 34, I'm going to start another loop inside of it. One thing to note here when we have a nested loop. So I'm just going to go ahead and run this and talk our way through for the time being. We enter into the loop here on line number 25, and whatever happens here comes first. Then we enter here into our second for loop, and this is going to execute as many times as is necessary before we come back out here into our the upper level for. We're going to bounce back here, supposing we haven't run out of loops. We're going to come back here. We're going to output this. We're going to run this code as many times as is necessary, and then we'll come out here. We'll come back to the top. We'll run this code once. Then we'll be here as many times as is necessary inside of our nested for loop. So this way, we can associate numerous things together. So my outside loop is the number of students, and I'm going to say, how many students do you have? I'm going to say 2. And how many test scores? That's the inside loop. You can see that right here, number of tests. So I'm going to say that there are 3 tests. So I have 2 students, I have 3 tests, which is going to mean I'll have 6 total scores to deal with. So I should see, I'm not going to continue for just a moment, but what should I expect to see? Should I see enter tests first, or should I see enter for a student first? So which is our outside loop? So I'm going to take care of the first student and all of their tests, and then I'm going to take care of the second student and all of their tests. And we've got the number that the user has entered here is going to be what is going to help us iterate how many times we're going to have to iterate here down through our example. So here's student number 1, their first test score, 50, let's go 60, and let's go 70. So then I have an average for student 1. Now you'll see a different student, a student number 2. So this time they'll get a 60, a 70, and an 80, and we can see that in fact we are getting the average there for student number 2. So this is an important thing to understand and to realize, that we can have loops inside of loops. That, I think, probably makes sense to everybody. Yeah, I want to do something with something else, and I want to do those a lot of times. But the order of operations here can sometimes put students off. It's the outside loop is executed once, and the inside loop is executed as many times as is necessary before we loop back to do another execution of our outside loop. You'll get the hang of it.